All right, I'm live. Let me see if this screen sharing works. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, today, guys, um, just gonna record myself working and show you what I do, building apps. When I'm on my laptop, you're gonna get an inside look on how I work. So I just want to make sure, first of all, that I'm not exposing anything. So give me a second to configure my screens. All right. I don't want to leak any information. That would be bad. Anyways, what I'm working on, let me just close these tabs as well. What I'm working on right now is two different projects. I'm building a paywall and a onboarding module for a mobile consumer app, and I'm also building an internal app for a athletic consulting company so that their clients can go and use their app and so on. So anyways, I'm also working on my own apps. I have a few different things that I'm doing just internally to help myself work. One of them is pretty cool. I'll show you guys. Anyways, all right, so let me share my screen on this. I think you guys will find some interest in this. I'm just gonna share my whole screen. Where the fuck was this? I got a lot of tabs. I lost the YouTube one. All right. Okay, so the way I work, I have all these tabs. All of these are my projects. Each one of them is a different account, different project, and so on. All right, so let's go to this one right here. Now, I just launched these servers, which I could show you guys what we're dealing with. I'm not gonna go into it, but the way I work is two different ways. Now, I take meetings with clients, I gather what they want, and from there I get to work. Now, I build apps, but I've completely gone rogue from coding. I strictly use AI Cursor to build all my projects. Now, it's not just as simple as prompting. There's a lot that goes into how it's going to be built, what type of integrations are going to be made. If someone wants emails, you can't just whip up some email with AI. You have to, register it. So there's ways around everything. Um, Good thing is I've been building apps for a long time before AI, and I already understand everything. So just with that knowledge of understanding everything, you don't even know how to code. The AI will do the coding, but if you understand architecture and structure of code, you can build some really cool stuff with AI. Anyways, my process with this, I'm about 2 weeks in. I know you're not really seeing much. Um, this is just a plan that I had whipped up. Most of these projects are product of my architecture, um, but I can go into this onboarding process I'm building as well for someone. So any consumer app that you download from using an app, you go through this onboarding process. You know what I'm saying, and this will be gathering information on the user. So there's ways to optimize this. We're trying to build a good converting one, so it's not just information about the app. It's more so of how do we make the person click next. And so this is a good way to optimize it, is these small page questions. But yeah, so I've built this whole thing for him, starting from right over here. We're about to launch that. It's going good. As you can see, all of these, I named these window. So all of these are different projects. Every single one of these are, you know, just different things I'm working on. And I also have another laptop. So think of double what this is, you know. Um, I'll just stop sharing my screen. Okay. It's my first time streaming on YouTube. So, I'm just breaking it in. Hopefully, we'll make it to 1 million followers or whatever one day. I really just want to connect with people on. I want to see what people are doing in this AI era in tech. It's a very new time. Everyone's a coder now. Everyone knows how to build apps. You know, even that random cousin that knows nothing about tech. He's played around with like Lovable or Claude Code, and he's whipped himself up an app. So everyone is in tech nowadays. I feel like even like all these business owners. A lot of people say that, or they ask me, how do you still get clients if everyone's building apps with AI? And I actually have more business because of AI. A lot of my clients will come to me after I already made progress in Cloud Code or just AI, Lovable, Replit. Um, there's like other ones, I just can't think of them, but we do get a lot of people that have apps already built. They prompted a few, steps of the way, and then they realized they didn't know what they were doing, or they just ran into some bugs. And sometimes people know that this could be done with a few prompts, but I just don't have the time to focus on it. So I'll pay someone. But, you know, people still need engineers to work. It's just not coding, you know? Coding is dead for sure. I've been saying this for a long time. If you look at my even old videos just on this channel, you'll see I know coding is dead because it's just a task that could be automated so easily, Coding is dead because AI can do it for you now, and it does it better, you know? Everyone that knows me and talked to me back in the day, I used to not like AI. Like when ChatGPT came out, just for coding, right? I didn't want to use AI for code because I have people that trust me, my name's behind it, and all this stuff, right? But unless you have like some ex Google engineers that have been coding since they were like 3 years old, you're gonna try to find some guy in God knows where, the other side of the world, and you still don't know if he's good or not. You still have to test it. And these tests aren't free. People want to get paid for their time. So you have to build a system of finding these people. And you need to, like, there's a huge gap, basically, is what I'm saying. There's a huge gap between your ideas and a good product. And who's in that gap? Who's filling that gap in the moment? It's these people. Like, they don't understand what you want. They don't understand business. Even a lot of good software engineers, they're just good at doing what they're told, basically. So if there's a world where you don't have to deal with offshore developers, nerdy engineers that they don't understand, like they don't get the business idea behind it, they don't help with business at all, they just know how to put a few lines of code together. So if you could just eliminate that and go straight to the source of like, all right, I need an app, this is my idea, give me something, without having to pay 6 figures just to get a good team together. Yeah, of course, that's going to be worked on in the world. That's a gap in the market. People are going to work to fill it, and that's what's happening now. We used to have no code. Those no code tools for a good 2 or 3 years were pretty amazing, but AI came too quick, or at least they came too late. And even when AI came out, I was against it because I run a legit business and I don't want, to put my name behind some slop. Over the past 6 months, it's gotten quite good. You know, it's gotten real good. So when I say real good, I mean that you can trust it. When it's doing, when you tell it what to do, you can trust that it'll do it. That's what I mean by good. I don't mean by, oh, build me an app and it builds a good app. I'm saying it does what it's told and it makes sure things are wired together. It might tangle the cords, but if you know what you're doing and you want to stop bugs from happening, you know exactly how to do it. But anyways, I guess I could show you guys another app that I'm building, which is the Loom video prompt app. Let me see if I can find it. So I don't do anything on the terminal anymore. I literally just tell my browser or my cursor ID, do it, like launch the servers. And it knows because I have a bunch of ports open of different apps. So sometimes it's not the 3,000 port, sometimes it's in the 5,000, something like that, so cursor will literally just find the open port and do it like that. So just that, I'll lose my credits on that. I like just telling it what to do so I could just do other things at once, because there's literally levels to how you work. There's levels to this shit, and anyone that's been in college knows, like, the same thing with studying. Working, there's levels to it. So if you can build momentum with many different things at once, you can literally do a lot of things. But it's all about momentum, so my momentum, I want to have my momentum with many different things at once. So I want to flip through these channels, these tabs, and be ingrained in all of them, right? Obviously, you need a certain level of mental power to go through that. But like, if all you're doing is prompting like this, do this, fix this, okay, so show me this. If you're doing that, each project's not taking too much of a mental capacity on you, so that you can work on different things at different times. But every single project, you need to have a mental, like, alignment with what's going on. So there's a certain momentum that I like to achieve by just branching this whole thing out into many different things and going from one thing to the other very, very fast. So like in an hour, I would have done about 20 minutes here and there, split up into like 2 minutes, if that makes sense. But anyways, what this is, I get a lot of requests through Loom videos. I get on a lot of calls that I record, and essentially, to stop me in automating the whole process of me having to figure out after a 2-hour call what are my action items, how to cut through the like the small talk and the chit chat, and go straight to like what I need to do with the project, instead of me like watching the whole video again and coming up with different prompts and different ways. I've trained this to take my video and my instructions to extract photo context of like what's going on in the video, context on what's happening, right? Context if we're talking about a specific page on the screen, and there's like a drop down, and me or the client talks about that drop down for a good 10 minutes on like what needs to happen, right? You can't just take the transcript. You need to have some context on what's happening on the screen. So this is trained to take all of that so that I can have my prompts ready inside to put inside of Cursor. So Cursor, you can attach images and you can have a prompt. So it'll come up with the prompt and it'll talk about it, and it'll give a screenshot for references, like context. So this helps me. It's not even finished. I've I've not deployed it anywhere. I just use it for myself that I work on, and it helps me a lot. I don't even think this is a product out there. This could be something I could sell. If anyone wants to take my idea and make it a thing, I'll be your first customer. Just you work on perfecting it, I'll work on using it, you know. But we can give it a go. Take it for a spin, you know. Let's see if I have any good videos. Map pins. Yeah, this will be perfect. I could just process the video. So yeah, I'm always building cool shit like this with Cursor. I have a lot of incentive to use Cursor. Helps me out a lot. Anytime I think of something that's gonna help me, I don't really like look for it online anymore. I just start prompting away, because literally having a custom app for yourself that works on exactly what you want to do, it's way better than having to pay someone for something that you barely know how to use, and you have to learn how to use it for yourself, and that takes so much time and effort, and you have to pay for it. It's better to just tell Cursor exactly what you want, and it comes up with a nice product for you. And if it's validated, you know, if you know you're dealing with those problems, you can ask your friends, hey, are you dealing with this problem? Do you want my app? Like, I'm giving this to my friend because my friend does the same thing, you know, and he wants this. But yeah, so it gives exact reference images on like what needs to happen, where it needs to happen. You know, you can download the images straight from here, and you can copy the prompt straight from here. So I would do that and put those all into my Cursor ID of the project I'm working on, and voila, it all happens just like that. Obviously, whenever it comes down to it, you need to test the app. You can't just deliver some slop. Remember, your name is behind what you're delivering, so make sure it's good before you present it. I mean, building apps, I don't know if whoever's, you know, going to be eventually watching this, I don't know, like whatever coding experience you have, trust me, the AI can actually build some code. Just do a little bit of research on how to deploy, how to actually build our architectures, and just a basic knowledge on like GitHub version control and, you know, DevOps stuff. That's pretty useful to know, because most people don't know any of that. I think the average person would go to like Lovable and start prompting stuff. And, you know, since Lovable has all these easy tools for them, they could just upload everything. They'll basically just use that and call it a day. But I mean, there's no flexibility with Lovable, and you're basically just trusting that IDE. So it's better to have like a local system, and, you know, you can choose your model. I'm not promoting Cursor in any way, but, you know, this is what my opinion is. But anyways, guys, I think that's it for my first live video. I think I went out with a bang. What do you think? I'm gonna make some more videos on tech stuff. We're gonna be talking more about business, and, you know, I'll try to keep posting. I've been slacking with it. I think the last time I posted was a year ago, so I'm gonna get back on it. But anyways, guys, I'll see y'all on the next one, I guess. Peace out.